Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm a little late on getting videos out this week. It's been a really busy work week, and this is the actual first time that I've been able to sit down and make something. So I have three granddaughters. I was about to say three grandkids, but they all like little trinket boxes and stuff like that. Stuff that they can hide their little stuff from, and I was the same when I was a kid. I used to love just, I don't know, storing things in little boxes. I think it's something all girls did or all girls enjoyed. And so I wanted to make a trinket box today. So what I got is just some scrap clay, the most ugliest color you can get. And all my scrap seems to come out either like this color or green. And then all I need is a cookie cutter. So on Amazon or Michael's, you can get like a set of 11 of these. They're fun. They're a bunch of different sizes. And what I bought them for was for bangles, because these are great because you can have your size. You can go one smaller for the people that have smaller wrists. You could even go smaller and smaller for little kids, you know, toddlers and little youngins. I've made my grandkids a bunch of those. But today I'm going to use that for our basis of our trinket box. Okay, so right now all I'm going to worry about is the side, because I'm going to get that baked first, and that way I'll know what size to make the bottom. Now, normally you can make the bottom in a circle, and then you can make the sides and attach them, but usually they don't seem to come out the same size by using just the cutters. Maybe you got a little thicker piece of clay on the side or on the bottom, and they just don't match up. So I always do my sides first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it about right here. And this is about 1 1/4 inches. Okay, and I'm going to set it all the way up to the ridge right there on the top. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep that line and go all the way around. I mean, really simple. Okay, and then we're just gonna cut that at a bevel. And then we're just gonna lay this on top. Okay. And then we're gonna close up our seam as good as we can. You can run your hand around it. But you don't want to go too hard, because you don't want that to be a thin spot, because you'll see it. Okay, so you're just going to go around. Just make sure you got all air bubbles out. There's going to be another layer on top, so I'm not worried about how perfectly straight it is. Oh, and that's a horrible blade. Okay, and then you just take a regular blade and you lay it flat on the top. And you just cut. And then you're going to have a perfectly even top. Okay. And that's it. Just kind of flatten it out a little bit. Make sure that it's all stuck, all that it stays round. And I'm going to throw this in the oven for about 20 minutes. And then when that's done, I will come back. Okay, so we're back, and this is what we wrapped around. So we got a nice little circle. So I did cut the bottom out already, and this is 2 layers thick. So I did the thickest setting, and I made 2 of them. And as you can see, it doesn't quite fit. So what we're going to do is we're going to just make this a little longer, and then I'm going to use this as my guide. So this will help too, because it'll get rid of some of those air bubbles that might have been stuck. Okay, and I don't want to go too thin. Okay, so we just need a little bigger. Normally I put the pieces in the oven and then I decorate them. I think we're going to go a little different tonight. Got air bubble in there right there. So I just kind of want to get an area knowing that, okay, this is about that size, and it almost is. So I'm going to make this like a, I don't know, a green grassy look. So let me grab some green. I thought I had some. I will be right back and we'll show you what happens. Okay, so I found, I don't know, it's kind of an army green. Not the most beautiful green, but it's going to be what I need, I think. So this is going to sit on top of this. I don't know how well this is going to work. Yeah, I don't think I like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it out. I'm not going to worry about the edges because I do want it to go up on the walls. Actually, it doesn't matter because it's going to be cut out. So that's something I probably shouldn't worry about right now. So right now, we just want to do the bottom and the inside of the bottom. And yeah, you got to be really careful with this because the air bubbles are plenty. Okay, and I want to give it a little bit of a texture to the inside, which keeps you really from having to sand the inside. And it gives you a little bit of texture in there. More of the green, little black spots right here. Okay. So again, it's going to be kind of like a little bit of texture, so because it's really hard for me to get these flat even if I sand it. So, and again, I don't know where some of this black came from. Scheme of things, it probably doesn't matter, but just make sure you get all the air bubbles. That's probably the main thing. Okay, I'm going to turn this around. And I'm going to put another layer on top. So again, normally I do this before I do anything else, but tonight I'm going to do it all at once. Okay, and I'm going to cut right there at the very end. Make sure you have a really sharp X-Acto knife. This is not. Let's give me a little issue here. So I can't see on that side. Well, I really chopped into that, didn't I? Okay, so at least we got our green now. It's going to be a really thick bottom. It's going to be a heavy case. But I'd rather be heavier than too light. So now we're going to run this across one more time. And we're going to clean out the sides of this part. So I'm going to do the inside first. And I'm going to do the inside probably at a 3 or a 4. Okay, so let's get some bacon bond on this. Okay, you want this a little thicker anyways. And the shape is going to move a little bit, obviously, until it gets thicker. So we're going to move this over. I might end up cutting it again. Okay, so there's the inside. As you can see, I wasn't really careful. I just need the inside in there. And I do want it textured, so I do want it thicker, but I'm not worried about the inside being thicker, because the thicker you go on the inside, it's going to make a smaller dish. So I'm going to worry about the outside being thicker. And then I have to debate whether I want to do the outside first or bake it and then do the outside. So I still haven't figured that out yet. Trying to make this one easier than my last one. So I'm kind of switching it around a little bit. Okay. So right now I'm just moving all these to the ends. Okay. And then we're going to even it out one more time. That's a little off. Okay. So now, let's see what happens when we put it on here. Okay. So I'm going to flatten this just a little more. Make this a little longer. Make that a little longer. And that. And we're just going to kind of make it a little bigger. And now we're going to add the texture to the inside. And you don't have to follow this. Whatever technique that you want to use that might be easier than this, then I say do it. This is just a guide of what I do. Okay, so I don't like this little guy sticking up. All right. See, the one thing about putting it in the inside like that is I can't put this back in there. And I like to put these back in there because it helps it to hold its shape. So I could put this one in there for now. It's not really going to hold the shape, but okay, so let me go grab another X-Acto knife and I'll be back. Alrighty, we are back with a sharp X-Acto knife. So we'll see if this works any better. Okay, and we're just going to trim. I think the reason I'm having problems with it is it's so thick. And because I cannot trace, I can't draw a straight line, and obviously I can't even go around in a circle. I'm just really bad. I don't know why. But if that's the least of my worries, I'm okay. All right. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, and I know it looks torn up, and that's okay. I'll put this on a card now. Okay. And now the only thing we're going to do is we're just going to smooth the edges a little bit. All of this, we're going to put one more coat of green on the outside. So basically the only thing you want to do is just make sure you've got a nice seal on this. Just a little bit right there. And what I'm making is going to have a bumpy outside too, because we're going to decorate it in all kinds of colors. So again, I'm not really worried about any of this being even. I just want to make sure I've got a nice seal. Okay, so now the worst part is making sure that this is down good enough, because you don't want it to bubble. So if you can get a good seal like that on the paper, saying you can't rub it on that side because that middle will just jump right through the hole. Okay, so we're just going to kind of Make sure we got all that cleaned up. Okay. So just make sure your sides are still pretty decent. I am a little upset that I can't put that cookie cutter back in. So for future, put the color that you want the inside to be on first. And you put it around this, put it on there. Because this is the smaller one, but this one would have been so much better because it would help me hold the shape. I mean, it would be nice if I can put it on upside down, but I can't. And I don't know if that's going to work doing it that way. That's just going to mar up the middle. Alright, so we're just going to leave this alone. I'm going to get it as round as we can. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit on the outside here. So just rub it on there a little bit. Okay, and it's got a good seal on the paper. So we are going to leave that alone. Okay, and you could kind of play with it if you want. And you're not going to get it perfectly round. At least I never will, so I'm not really worried about that. But that looks pretty round right there. Okay, so I'm going to go throw this in the oven for 20 minutes and we'll be back. Alright, so we are back. And there's our box. So the inside is pretty much done. We might sand it a little later. And there's our outside. It's not perfect, but it will be. So I'm going to gather up some more green, because this is where the fun part begins, and that's to give it some design. I don't think this is going to be enough, so I'm going to pause again, find some more scrap green, and then I'll be back. Alright, so we have another thing of green. Excuse the phone. I'm going to, pull the charger out. So it's another ugly green. And for those of you that like green, I'm sorry that I call it ugly. Green and red are my least favorite colors. Although that green I can handle. A dark green I can handle. Apple green I like. Neon green. I'm not a big fan of baby poop green. Okay. So this was rolled at a number 1. We might have to stretch it a little bit. Well, maybe not. So I'm going to come like that. I'm hoping to get a little bit on the bottom as well. But for now, I'm going to scrape this right off the top. Okay. I'm not sure if I've got enough to go on the bottom. I don't want the bottom thick. would just be nice to have it attached to the rest of this. So we're going to manipulate this and hopefully we can get it there. Or I'm just going to grab, oop, look at that piece right there. That will do it. Okay. Add some more Bacon Bond. Okay, I'm going to add a little texture. No matter how hard you try, air bubbles always manage to make their way in. And yes, dogs always have to bark. So again, we're just going to slide the knife around. Okay, so we're just going to make sure there's no more seam, kind of like the way we did it before. Apologize for the dogs. Okay, I'm going to sand this down and I'll come back when the dogs stop whatever tantrum they're having. Okay, it's quiet again. So, I'm going to lay this on paper here. And now the fun part comes. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to put dots everywhere. Okay, I'm going to get some colors. So here's a bit of yellow. And we're going to make the yellow really thin. I'm going all the way like a number 9. Okay. I'm going to start with yellow, and then we'll start adding some other colors in here. We're just going to grab some yellow. I'm going to make this really colorful. Okay, so basically you're just taking a little bit with your ball tool, and you're just setting them here and there. You know, there's no pattern or anything like that. I'm just adding bits of color. It would have been a waste of time if I did that to the green. So I figured I wouldn't do that on the green itself. I would just wait till I got all the colors here. Okay, so for now, we got some yellow. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab every color of the rainbow. So I'm going to grab some green and some purple and some blue. And again, we're making them as thin as we can. So the thinnest setting on your pasta machine. I don't know why, but I don't want red. So I definitely want purple. I have purple over here. And we definitely want some pink and some blue. So this looks like a really pretty blue. And it's got mica in that, so that's going to end up being sparkly. And let me get some fuchsia. Okay, so basically, that's all you need right now. So in each one, just grab a little piece and start adding little pieces here and there. So you could either do each color individually, or you can grab, you know, a couple other colors at the same time. And this is all I'm going to do back and forth all the way around. So I don't want to keep you here while I do this. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And we'll be back when I cover the whole thing. But you pretty much get pretty much what I'm trying to do. So now we'll just add a little bit of green here. You know, we can add a little bit of blue right over it. Okay. And it doesn't matter where they fall. That's even better. Not sure if I really like the green. I might just do a little bit of the green. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So work your way all the way around until you have it all done. And then we'll go ahead and make sure that this is flattened. That's why it's easy if you have plastic on it. As you can see. Let me just do that really quick for you, and I'll show you what I mean. See, by doing it this way, I don't want any creases, so that's what I'm trying to hide. It's this little crease right here. That way it looks like it's all one piece. And yes, a couple air bubbles that just popped up. Okay, so now I don't have any creases. I don't know if it's an air bubble or just an area that's raised. Okay, so now I put this directly on a tile. Okay, and then I'm just going to work on the sides from this point. And you'll see, I don't know if you can see in between how it's kind of raised up over there. So like the side isn't touching. So now you can use all this extra and you can push it on down to the end. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cover all of this. And we'll be back as soon as we're done with it. Guys, really quick, I just want to show you I changed it up a little bit. So when we started this, we did like the little patchwork by peeling a little bit off. And I changed it. I didn't really care for it, as you can see. So instead, I just rolled up a little bit of clay. And I popped it on there. Squished it down. And now I'm just doing this. Okay, and I'm going to fill this whole thing with dots instead. I don't know why, I just wasn't really impressed with the other parts. And then I changed colors to just do blue, purple, and some fuchsia. So I'm going to go finish this, but I just want to show you that I did change it up. So when I show it to you again, you didn't go, whoa, those don't look like what she had. So this is going to be it for tonight. And I think we're going to do a part 2 to this so it doesn't end up being so long. So we will back after we're all filled up. Talk to you then. Bye.